Okay, so here's what's available in this entire listing. You have the controller, which is in the case, and I will show you pictures of it with the front and the sides on. Again, you have the slide-out drawer that has the mounts for the cameras. You will have the case, the lock for the case. You have the three BNC to RCA adapters. You will have 6 additional quick release adapters that you can put on tripods, light stands, other things you can put in with a 1/4 inch. And again, you will have 6 cameras. You'll have 4 that are a little bit wider, and then 2 which have a little bit bigger zoom. Okay, let's take a look at the camera control system. But basically what we have is 6 cameras, which are robotic, and they all can be controlled by pan, tilt, and zoom from this control panel. Now this system will be great for doing any kind of event, like a wedding, a funeral, a sporting event, anything like that. And the output could be output to a projector, a separate streaming device, a separate recording device. So let's take a look at the control panel and take a look and see what it is. First of all, we always want to be on manual when we're doing this, okay? And we've got 2 different settings. We've got preview, which is to see what it is going to be before the main output, and then the main output. So when I take a look at these buttons right here, this tells you what's going to happen to the built-in screen. So this one would be preview, excuse me, and this one would be the main one. Okay, so generally what you want to do is you want to put it on the preview one, and you can take a look at whatever buttons you press out of the 6 cameras rather, just by simply pressing, and that's what's going to go on before air. And then if that's the one you like, then you press this, and it will go on air. Now to make things a little bit simpler, it's helpful to have a separate monitor. And so, for example, right now, this is what's on the air. I've got it on the main output. Okay, so right now, this is my preview input, camera 1. Okay, camera 6 is still on the main output. But then if I come over here and hit this, okay, now camera 1's on the main output. And again, I can sell you this little monitor for $25. It's no big deal. That'd be a separate thing. So anyway, what's really, really cool is each camera out of the 6 cameras can have different presets. So for example, it can have up to 12 different presets for each camera. Now I've only got 6 programmed for each camera, but to give you some kind of idea, okay, here's preset 1 for camera 1, preset 2, preset 3, preset 4, preset 5, and preset 6. Now notice how fast that can go. There's no way you could manually do it that fast. So if you're doing a band or something, you could have it so it would be set up for different instruments or different people. So for example, the last thing I did with this, I had a thing for bass guitar, the harp and the horns, and different things. And again, this is like a cutout, so you can put different pieces of paper in there to mark your inputs. But so those were just six inputs on one camera. So on camera 2, we'll just go through them really quickly. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and this is all live. There's 4, there's 5, and there's 6. Okay. Input 3. Okay, we go down here. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, and here's 6. And I think you can see how effective this can really be, because it gives you lots of flexibility. Okay, camera 4. Okay, we're already on 1. We're going to go 2. We're going to go 3. We're going to go 4. We're going to 5 and 6. See all these different shots you can have. And I still have 2 cameras left to go. Okay, now camera 5 and camera 6 are a little bit bigger, and I'll show you the cameras themselves in a moment. But camera 5 and 6 have a little bit more. You can zoom in a little bit farther than the other cameras, than the other 4 cameras. So again, there's number 1, number 2, input 3, input 4, input 5, and input 6. And they are a little bit noisier than the other cameras. Okay, so now I can go to camera 6, and I can go input 1, which it already is at. You see a nice picture outside. Picture 2, preset 3, preset 4, preset 5, and preset 6. So again, it's very, very flexible. And then I still have 6 times 36 more inputs or presets, excuse me, than I had before. Another thing, if I want to have manual control, generally I will have the brightness on auto, but I can also go over here and make it darker. Okay, or I can do it lighter, or I can just put it back on auto and it'll be back to what it's supposed to be. Same with the focus. I can do automatic or manually focus. I can have automatic white balance. And again, to move the cameras around themselves, I have this joystick. So I can move it left or right. If I do W, that stands for wide, and that's zooming out. Okay. If I do T, that's tight, and that's for zooming in. Okay. So it's very, very, very flexible. So it comes in this nice case, and actually the cameras store inside on a shelf that opens the other way, and I'll show you that in a moment. And again, there's a nice drawer here that can slide in and out. You got to do it kind of hard. But then there's a case that goes on the front, which you will see in the the photos. Okay, let's take a look at it when it's all buttoned up. It does have some nice roller wheels because it is very heavy. It also has a handle which comes up so you can drag it along real nice. Now what I do is when I use it, I actually have it so the wheels are on the top so it doesn't get flat spots on them for all the weight. This is the front. You can see that there is storage for the cameras, and they will come out the back. And here's the controller, and you pull it out, and you've got the controller, and it works really nice on a table. Now, when you push it back in, you need to do it pretty hard. So there's a little click when it does it. And when you take off the back, we have a shelf that has all the power. And that should just be left alone. It doesn't slide out or anything, but it's got all the power pieces for everything. And then with this, you can slide it out, and you've got all the cameras. Now, there are 4 little bit wider cameras, and then there are 2, the black ones, have a little bit more zoom capabilities. Now, when you take them off, what you need to do is there is a little... It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little lever that you take them off with, like this. And they all have the same lever. Okay? Now it's important to put them back on. If you notice that the numbers are not in order, that's just so they all fit on the shelf. So what you want to do is when you're putting them on, you want to start in the back and then go to the front. But what's important is if you look at these, they have these little knobs like this, or levers, and when you put them back in, you want to have the lever open, and then you take the camera and you set the back of it in, and then you push down on the front. It's hard to do with one hand here. And then you need to make sure that switch there is all the way back to make a nice firm one. This is the part where you put in the Cat 6 cables for the different cameras. Again, each camera has 2 different cables, okay? The black one is for power and video, and the blue one is for control. So each one has 2. And then the output, I've got a main output, 2 main outputs, and 2 preview. Now each of these cameras has a pan, tilt, and zoom. You can see that it moves. On the back, there's a little shoe where you can plug things in. Okay, so keep in mind that it takes two Cat 5 or Cat 6 cables to get in there. So if you take a look, the black is over here. You plug it right in there, and that would be the video and power. And then the blue is where you plug it in for the control. So again, here's the backpack, and here are the cables installed. Now these cables do not come with the rack. If you want to buy them separately, I do have them for sale. They're each pair is twisted, so it's easy to use it. And again, you can see the black is for the power and for the video, and the blue is for the control. Okay, and here's what it looks like when all the Cat 5, Cat 6 connections are put in. Now again, if you buy the other thing with the reels of cables, you can see that they're very, very nicely labeled and color-coded. Again, over here is if you have a main output, so if you want to see the main on a monitor or bring it out to some kind of recorder, that'll work. And then same with the preview. If you want to put the preview out to two different outputs, you can do that as well.